Welcome back, friends. We have just completed the first 10 days of the DIG challenge, the discovery phase. Over the last week and a half, you've asked some hard questions. You've written down some honest answers, and you've done the kind of soul searching that a lot of people never choose to take the time to do. You have identified what you want. You've clarified some excuses that might be standing in your way. You've spotted your triggers, and you've chosen a non-negotiable habit to anchor your growth to. That is real work. And if you've stuck with me this far, you've already laid a stronger foundation than many ever will. Today, we're going to pause. We're going to take a breath. We're going to look at where we've been, and then we're going to look ahead at where we're going next in this journey. So as we close out the discovery phase of the DIG challenge, let's take a moment to look back at the journey that we've taken together over these first 10 days. In days 1 through 3, you defined what you really wanted, and you set a clear SMART goal. Something specific and measurable that can guide your steps. On days 4 through 6, you turned that spotlight on your obstacles. You named the excuses, the patterns, the challenges that have held you back in the past so that you can begin to address them with clarity instead of denial. During days 7 and 8, you identified your triggers and you established your daily non-negotiable habit. That habit can become an anchor. It's a small but steady action that builds consistency into your life. Days 9 and 10, we spent some time making sure that what we were building is tied to what we value most. You connected your habits to your deeper values and wrote a commitment statement that grounded the work ahead. Now, what I'd like you to do is take a moment to look back at your journal from these past 10 days. What surprised you? What did you discover about yourself? Celebrate the fact that you have been intentional. You've been reflective, you've been honest. Those are the building blocks of real change. And this foundation is what will carry us forward as we step into the next phase, which is investigation. That's where we're going to explore some tools and strategies and the wisdom that we need to strengthen what we've started. But for now, I want you to pause. Acknowledge the work that you've already put in. It matters. That work matters. So as we turn the page from discovery into the investigation phase of the DIG challenge, our focus is going to shift. The past 10 days, as we've said, were about self-discovery, honesty, clarity, alignment, things like that. Now in days 10 through 20, we're going to move into gathering the tools, the strategies, and the wisdom that will help us succeed. Stephen Covey once said, "Sharpen the saw." And the idea is simple. If you keep pushing forward with a dull blade, you'll wear yourself out. But if you pause to sharpen your tools, you'll work smarter and not harder. And that's exactly what this phase is all about. Sharpening your saw before the grind of implementation. We'll be investigating what works and what doesn't. We'll be exploring what both science and experience can teach us about lasting change. This is the learning lab. This is where you test, adjust, refine before you push forward. Think of it as a training ground for resilience. Albert Einstein once remarked, "Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it." In these next 10 days, you'll be practicing that lifelong attempt. You'll learn from the mentors that you choose, whether through books, through role models in your life, or through voices that you've chosen to guide you through podcasts or YouTube videos. You'll apply the ideas that they present, you'll test them, and you'll see which ones hold up in your life. Every experiment can add confidence for what comes next. Now, I'd like to ask you to take a moment to encourage you to comment below with the biggest lesson that you have carried out of the discovery phase. Sometimes sharing your insights can help other people realize their own. If you missed a day or if one of them hit you especially hard, I'd encourage you to go back and revisit it. The challenge isn't about getting through everything quickly. It's about going deep. And as we move forward, I do want you to remember that momentum doesn't come from giant leaps, but it's built by stacking those small victories day after day, one on top of the other. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency, because consistency compounds. So let's sharpen the saw together. Let's step into the investigation phase, ready to learn, ready to test, ready to grow. The grind is coming, but first we prepare. First, we gather our tools. So that's where we've been, and that's where we're going. You've taken the time to discover your goals, your values, and your foundation. Next, we step into investigation, learning the tools, the principles, and the wisdom that will help you succeed when the grind gets tough. I'm proud of the work you've already done. You've put a lot of thought and a lot of honesty into these last 10 days. You should be proud of yourself. Keep showing up, keep writing, keep reflecting. Because together we're not just chasing change, we're building it into who we are. I'll see you tomorrow for day 11 when we begin the investigation phase of the Dig 30-Day Challenge. Let's dig deep and lay a foundation for lasting change.